Do you wish somebody wrote down the recipe for your parenting challenges? Did you want tips and tricks to become a better mama for you and your babies? I know I do. If you're a mother who feels that you are doing the best you can with the hands you've been dealt, but you're still getting it done, then this podcast is for you. I'm so glad you tuned in to Nailed It Motherhood, because we might have the recipe that nobody wrote down. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Nailed It Motherhood Podcast. I am your host with the most, Tamara Eldridge. We are back, and I'm so excited with our guest today, because our guest today, I know that was a lot of excitement, but I really am excited. Our guest today is truly a joy to be around. I met her, well, it had to have been almost 10 years ago, maybe-ish. When I did a web series, and baby, this girl is talented. She was so good that she was our leading lady in my show, Will Death Do Us Part? And y'all, she slayed, okay? I saw her take directions. I saw her commit to the part. And I mean, that's absolutely no different than it is with her role as a mom. So mamas, papas, grandmas, and the village, welcome to Nailed It Motherhood Podcast, Imani McFarland. Yay!
Hi.
My fellow thespian, I am so happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. My first podcast. Ooh!
And I know you will slay this just like you do everything. I've really seen you operate in excellence in everything you do. Everything you do. Let's talk about our experience together whenever we did Will Death Do Us Part.
Yes.
That was one of your first acting jobs, right?
It wasn't my first. It was my first web series. Like, it was my first on film.
Yes.
Because I did a play. I think I did 2 plays, or maybe 1, like prior. Yeah, it was 2 plays prior to you. And then this was my first for like filming on a web series. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I would love to do this. So I was kind of nervous because I'm like, I was always nervous. I was just starting and I didn't know if anybody would like pick me, or even if you did pick me, but I was happy to be on board. And I was just like so excited. I love the experience. My family loved that I was on it as well. And I love that working with you, working with everyone, the cast, everything. It was just so much fun. And I just learned a lot, because it's just like everything that you do is just so professional. It's like you are such a boss. So, but you were just a great director, and still is, I'm sure. But it was just like awesome working with you and everyone else.
Thank you. That turned into something I wasn't expecting, but thank you so much. I mean, I was trying to sing your praises, because like you would never ever know that you never did film. And mind you, this was something that was kind of my first video project. So I was doing too much. But host with the most. That's what I do. I was directing and trying to act, but we got to act as supporting leading roles, which was a lot of fun, because like the dynamic of your character versus the dynamic of my character, they got to bounce off each other. We had a lot of laughs. We spent a lot of time together during that first season, and we never made it to a second season, because life right after the first season was shot. But we did meet up again later, which was exciting, because I had a request to do a birthday party in the form of a murder mystery. So I wrote a play based on the birthday girl. And you were like the first person that I was like, I need Imani to play this role. Like this, she's going to be fantastic. And you brought on your now husband at the beginning of it. And unfortunately, because of time, he couldn't finish with it. So we had to replace him. But the two of you were pretty amazing together. And I don't even think, did you know then that he was going to be your husband? Were you guys dating then, or?
When I brought him along, I think actually, we were dating then. We actually known each other since we were 16 because we went to the same high school together.
Awesome.
And so by that time, we were dating, but like, I think it was still kind of like new because we were like friends for a long time. We're like, I don't know how this is going to work. And then he is into acting as well. He's done some acting in college, and we've also done like extra work together in film. So like we like those type of things. And so I brought him along because that's just, I don't know, it's our thing. If that's something that we love to do.
I'm telling you, that's an awesome bond to have. Like, just, I miss it. I miss being on stage. I miss waiting on set for something to film. I think the last thing that I did, I actually traveled from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia to finish the what is it, Last Known Location, which is now out on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, things like that. So that's exciting that it's like, that was my last project and it's really out there and people are really liking the movie altogether. It was an independent film, but I really miss it. And for you two to share that bond is pretty amazing. I can only imagine where your kids are going next because I know where mine is. So, that's really exciting. So, but enough about the acting in the web series, and we could probably sit here and talk for an hour, maybe 3, maybe 5 about acting and what all we did whenever we were thespians together. And I hope nobody takes that the wrong way. That came out weird. But but before we get into your story, I want to share a little bit about my thespian, baby girl Tavia. In each episode, I do a segment called Tavi Tales. And in Tavi Tales, I either share a story, a little short story that has me saying, only her, like only my child would me have to share this information. Or I come and I just vent because parenting is rough. And sometimes this is the only platform where I could just be like, help me out, y'all. Just hear me out. So my child, she is a natural superstar. And I mean,
so is our mother. So go ahead.
Thank you. And I appreciate it. Make sure the apple don't fall far from the tree. That one. I love it.
Yes.
I truly love it because she's really, really good. Like, she's very talented. And I'm just like, oh, my baby is going to be a superstar. But then whenever she's in trouble, she's also really, really good at acting. So the thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is just her little stories that she makes up about what goes on in her life, or even the stories that she tells other people about what her mom did or whatever. And it could be completely false. And you never know. You have to do the digging. Like, you have to become your own detective with Tavia because she's very, very good. And like, I'm trying to help her understand the difference between lying, joking, and acting. Now, I had a friend from New York who was looking for young kids who were able to deliver a line or whatever. And I said, if you need me, I got you. It was like as a last resort. And somebody dropped out and he was like, I need you. So I said, oh God, I got to do Tavia's hair. Let's get Tavia's hair done, whatever. Teach her this line. And I was so proud of her because she takes direction pretty well whenever she knows that she has to actually do it. But her line was, God's got it in his hands. And I just go through the footage on my phone, the different angles that we were taking, and me telling her, slow it down or emphasize this. And I just get to watch this little budding star come out. And the final product is on his series, which I can't think of the series right now. I want to say it's Lighthouse. I will put the link in the comments whenever I actually publish. But she's in there, and like I show her the clip, and she just gets so bashful, and she just smiles. She gets so proud of herself. But you 2 girls, so I know you can relate. how much theater is going on in the house around you? Do you get to interact with them? Do you play house with them? What does it look like in the world of Imani as mommy?
Oh man, it's I'm glad I have a background in theater, because let me tell you, everything. My oldest daughter loves to dance, and it's crazy because since she was even younger, like one, you would see her like moving to the music and she's on beat. Like people would come up to us and will be like, how old is she? And she's very tall, by the way. How old is she? We're like, oh, she's 2. She's on beat. Is she in dance class? We're like, no, she's not in dance class. That little girl's going to be a dancer. Like she's in a school. It's called the Settlement Music School, and they have a pre-K counts there. They do art, they do dance, they play with instruments, they also learn. Even the artwork that she's bringing home now, it's like, this looked like a little something. I was like, okay. My husband and I, we go to a camp. It's called FCA camp. It's Fellowship Christian Athletes. And we go there every year. My husband volunteers. They do basketball, football, sports, all of that, and also do chapel and talk about God. She did a performance. She was 2 years old. 2 years old. It was her and another kid that was with the other kids, because they also have kids that are like under 13 that parents would come and bring, and they can't really like be in the sports, but they have a little camp for them as well. She was with them like every day, and they did a performance like the last night. When I tell you, my child was on the side and brought her little self to the front. And when that music dropped, oh my gosh, everybody was like looking at her. Me and my mother-in-law, because my mother-in-law has been coming since we've been going. We were sitting there like laughing and crying because I was like, look at my baby perform. My child don't even want to get off the stage. Like, you cannot take her off the stage. And she's just like a little performer. She just loves it. She does not care who's like watching her. She's not shy about it.
Yeah.
You put on some music, especially if it's her song, she's going to dance to it.
I love it.
Okay. Like earlier today, we're at breakfast and both of them are staying in line from Frozen. Her and my youngest, because she's just a talkative as well. They're like staying in line for Frozen. I said enough. And then I got to come in with the line because, you know, I'm a professional. I know the line. And I go, oh, sorcery. Yes. So it's just, and then the little baby, she goes, enough. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 2 Broadway stars now that's in the house that I didn't even need to train, but
I mean, you can't help. You can't help yourself.
I can't. No.
You can't. I just did this the other day because I was really hyped and been bringing Dreamgirls back to the table. And so she's like, Mom, can you put that song on? That song, you know, Curtis was supposed to love me. And I'm like, girl, what you know about that song? She said, that's your favorite song. I said, it's not my favorite song. Well, you keep playing it. So she cracks me up because she'll be in the car singing it hard. And then just the other day, when she heard that Curtis was saying getting fatter all the time, she was like, and I looked at her in the rearview mirror and I was like, what's wrong? And she said, why did that man call her fatter? I don't like that. I don't like that. Me neither, girl. Me neither.
Oh
but
my
yeah,
gosh.
I'm excited for you. Like, that sounds like such a fun household. Whenever we share those moments with our kids, I mean, it's just, those are memories that you are going to continue to make if you keep going and seeing where their strengths are. I love that for you. I love that for your girls. I can't wait to see the prodigy on the stage.
Yes.
And you be like, that's my baby.
Yes.
That is my baby. I love it. So thank you for sharing in that Tavi Tale moment and engaging with your stories. I love to be able to hear stories like that with parents who have kids who are similar ages, because I mean, then I know that I'm not alone in a lot of the things. And,
Right.
with a talent like yours, now you have kids that are following after you. Y'all might as well go ahead and start your own production company and get it popping because you have that
Listen.
in you. So let's not front.
Yes.
Let's not front.
Yes.
You do. And so, yeah, I can't wait to see where you're going with it. But we're going to jump into our personal parenting journey, and you're going to share a little bit more about your parenting life, how you became a mom, things like that. And one thing I do want listeners to know is that, we always say how strong a mother's love is. We say it's like a mother's love endures through all. We say mother's love knows no bounds. We say mother's love is there from the beginning to end. And Imani has a personal parenting story to share a bit about her journey today, that shows us just how much a mother's love can heal even before the child has come into the world. So Imani, I'm going to sit back, turn my mic on mute, and listen while you tell us a bit of her story.
All right. So, of course, you guys know I have two girls. My first daughter, her name is Zipporah. So Zipporah is biblical. It is Moses' wife. And my youngest daughter, her name is Keziah. That is also biblical. That was Job's daughter. After Keziah was born after everything that happened to Job. Keziah. He had Keziah and a bunch of other children as well. My first daughter was a great pregnancy. It was around the pandemic where I guess everybody and their mom was getting pregnant in 2020. So everything was great. I just had like one little hiccup with Zipporah. It was like, I think it was like the beginning of my second trimester. And it was a Friday and I was having like pain in my stomach. It was a good thing I was going to the doctor that day to get it checked out. And I asked if I could leave early for my appointment. Of course, my manager and my coworkers, they understood. That was a great thing about that job. They loved and adored me. And they knew that I was pregnant. They were excited for me, just as well as my family was excited for me. So went to the doctor and I was just like, yeah, I'm having some like really sharp like pain. They're like, oh, I think that was like ligament pains. Yeah, that's normal. So I said, okay. I went home and it got worse. It was just horrible. I was in pain. I didn't know what to do. My husband was doing everything in his power to help me out. He was like looking up things. Okay, you got to get in the bathtub. You have to lay this way. You have to lay that way. You have to eat this. You have to drink that. He was doing everything to like help me with this pain. And then it got so bad that Monday, I had to call out from work because I said, I cannot deal with this. So I may have to go to the hospital. I don't know what's going on. And then I called the nurse and asked like, hey, I'm having this really sharp pain. I've been having these pains since Friday. And I remember her saying like over the phone, it could be ligament pains or it could be a miscarriage. And I just like was kind of choked up and was just like a miscarriage. Like I said, oh God, you cannot do this to me. Not to me, not to like our first child. My husband, he told me, he said, when he found out, when I told him, he said, okay, I know what to do. At the time we were at his family's church and he had keys to church. He called his mom and told her what happened. So me, him, and her, we all went to the church and we were like praying. We were shouting. We were like speaking in tongues for like an hour. And then after that, the pain was gone. Pain was gone. Went to Granny's house, drunk a ginger ale, and I was like, fine. I was better. So that was the only hiccup from Zipporah. I also had to have a C-section with Zipporah because Zipporah was still breached. I have fibroids. And I think fibroids isn't really talked a lot about because I think that maybe us women have to deal with something like that. but she did not have room to turn. So she was breached and I had to have a C-section with her. Everything was like planned out. Had a C-section, had her, everything. She was a very good baby, very easy to watch. Of course, everybody could not watch her because she does not, she as a baby did not take to everybody. But the only people that could really watch her was my mom and my mother-in-law. Cut to my second child, Keziah. Now, Keziah, I feel like that pregnancy was kind of difficult. I was working. I think I was going through a lot of things. I was like stressing out. I had to take the glucose test again, which if anybody takes it the first time and they fail, you have to go back. You have to be there for 3 hours. You have to drink, the nasty little sugary soda stuff again. And they have to stick you 3 times. And then also I had to get iron infusion, 2 iron infusion sessions. And if you know me, like personally, I do not like needles. I cannot stand needles. I have a phobia of needles. Like if I get a shot, that's fine. But if blood drawn, like I am crying. I am hyperventilating. I'm just like, no. So like that there was just like a lot for me. My due date for Keziah was July 28th. I had to be induced in August. And I remember it was on a Sunday because it was my nephew's trunk party. And I remember my daughter had to stay with my mother-in-law. And I'm thinking, okay, this should be done within like maybe a day or like not even a day or two, maybe like 2 days. I went in there. They induced me. They said I was like 2 centimeters. Okay. And then another day, oh, you're just 2 centimeters. All right. Then they're just like, okay, you're getting a fever. Your temperature is spiking. We need to do an emergency C-section. And I'm like, which I did not want, but I did it anyway, for health precautions. And she wound up being born August 8th. And I had to be in the hospital for 5 days because of the C-section. So Keziah I'm like, after she was born, I'm like, see, you're a tough one. Cause like, she is just all over the place. She's like, want to do things her own. She wants to eat on her own. She wants to do her own thing. I'm thinking about signing up for gymnastics because I don't know how. She's very strong. She can hold her weight. She push things out the way so she could just go. But like, those are my 2 pregnancy stories. I love my children. I adore them. Of course, they drive me up the wall, but who doesn't? Anybody that loves you gonna drive you up the wall. My own husband drives me up the wall at times, but I still love him. So those are my pregnancy stories.
Real talk, honey. If they love you, they're gonna drive you up the wall. I like that. I'm gonna remember your voice anytime I'm like, if you don't get out of my face, okay, you love me. You love me. So you're doing what you're supposed to do, driving me up the wall. All right. Well, thank you for sharing your stories. You seem to have gone through quite a bit of trauma during your pregnancies.
Yeah.
And I mean, they say that for Black pregnant women, that's one of the hardest things that we have to go through. Like, and then the I can't even think of what the name of the word is. The rate. What is it called? Imani, help me out. The maternal, is it maternal death rate? That's not what it is. That's not the correct terminology for it. But the death rate of Black women going through pregnancy, I cannot think of it. I'm going to figure it out. But that rate is higher. Mortality rate is higher than any other race. And for many reasons. It could be the health reasons related to that's in our DNA, but it also is because of health care and how they treat us and how sometimes they don't listen to us. So we really have to advocate for ourselves. And so one of the things that you said during your pregnancy with Zipporah was that you had a doctor's appointment and you were already experiencing this pain. and they just sent you home and said it's probably just ligament pain. Did they do anything more to investigate where the pain was coming from to make sure you weren't miscarrying?
No, because at that time it didn't hurt that much. It was just like kind of uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But then like as they just like, it was a doctor's appointment. So I just told them like, hey, I'm having some like pain. This is kind of uncomfortable. Like, oh, that's ligament pains. Okay, fine. But then during the weekend, it just got worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, maybe this is a ligament pain. But as it like progressed throughout the weekend, I said, okay, something is wrong.
Yeah.
This is like not right. And at the time, I worked at the hospital, University of Penn. So I was going to Pennsylvania Hospital. And I said, if this goes on like Monday, I had to call out. And I'm like, if I have to go to the hospital, I'm going to go to the hospital because this just does not feel right at all.
Yeah, we typically know something's not right. Something's not right with whatever's going on. And, I just wish more medical providers would hear us out. But you proved that, prayer works. You said you did not experience any pain after you stayed in that church and you prayed and you spoke in the spiritual language. After that, nothing else came of that.
Nothing else.
That's amazing. I would say that's crazy, but I know where the healing hand came from. So that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The prayers of the righteous availeth much. So, I mean, and I do like the fact that you said you went and had a ginger ale. And then you kept it on. That's hilarious. The standard.
Yes, ginger ale is my jam. If you ever feel nauseous, because I had ginger candy too. Like I would have like ginger lemon candy because I would feel like nauseous sometimes. And you get the smells just hit you. Like I was at work and it's terrible because I've never been like, I wouldn't really be like close up to people, but like I remember I smelled one of the guys, I guess he was one of the functioning drunks that I worked with. I smelled the alcohol on him. I was like, whoa. Like, oh my gosh. But like, yeah, ginger will most definitely help you with nausea.
Wow, you went through a lot with both pregnancies. Really, you said you were experiencing fibroids. Was it during both pregnancies that you had to kind of battle with the fibroids?
I actually I didn't know I had fibroids until I actually had them already. So I don't think people know, or women don't know that they have them until like maybe they're pregnant or they feel like something is wrong. I already had fibroids even before I was like pregnant. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that. I think I had an idea because my mom had them as well. She told me that she had them when she was pregnant with me, but this was like prior. I guess like when you have fibroids make your menstrual like heavy. And I just thought that was just my menstrual and that was like the norm.
Yeah.
Where it's not. It like makes you anemic as well. That's why I had to get like the iron infusion, or they would like prescribe me with iron pills because my iron was low.
Yeah.
So I didn't know any of those things until they're just like, they would just show me right along with like the ultrasound. Yeah, here's your fibroids. They're right here. There are ways that you can shrink them, like you can get them cut off. It depends on where they are. But having fibroids can affect like your pregnancy. It can also most definitely affect if you have like a vaginal birth or a C-section.
That's and so you really didn't even get an opportunity to choose because, of the way that Sephora was laying and then the way that your health kind of was declining during your delivery with Keziah. Did I say her name right?
Keziah, yes.
Awesome. So that kind of sucks. Would you have more? Or are you done?
More children?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm done.
You
no,
said, come again?
I'm done.
say that one more again. No, okay, I get it.
I am done. I am retired from having children.
Yes, retired. I like that. I like that.
Yes.
That's a nice way to say heck to the gnaw. Well, for me, is heck to the gnaw. And mine is praying for a baby brother, but that's another, well, bless her heart.
She can have a dog.
When she turns 18 and is out of the house.
Or a goldfish.
She tried that.
Stuffed animal.
She's got plenty of those. And you know what?
All right.
I'll do you one better. She's got a dog stuffed animal with a crate and everything. There we go. Boom.
There you go.
There we go. So tell me how have they transitioned into their personalities? You said what, like you've got your singer and your superstar on one hand, but then you've got your strong, tough girl on the other hand. Were they born into their personalities, or did you see a transition?
I think they were born into their personalities, because Zipporah is she's very, my children are very nice. They're very because they're not always around other kids. So when they're around kids and people, especially kids, it's like, oh my gosh. But as Zipporah starts to grow, she's always been nice to other people, mainly other kids. Like I said before, she was not around other kids like that. She might have been around kids during when we go to church, but during the week, I didn't have her in daycare because daycare was expensive. So my mother-in-law mainly watched her during the week, and then my mom would watch her every other weekend when I went to work. Keziah, I think she was a little complicated because as a baby, she was kind of gassy. We didn't know really what to do with her. She was very smiley. When she was happy, she was happy. When she was mad, she was just mad. And that's how she is now. So it's as she grew older, we noticed, oh my gosh, this girl's really strong. Or would she have a firm grip on something? And I'm I don't want to break this little girl's hand, but I'm you need to get off of this. To opposed to Zipporah. Zipporah is more, she'll listen a little more. I mean, she's a little older, but she'll listen a little more. And yeah, she's kind of go with the flow a little bit. I have my challenges because she's 3. She's a toddler. She's learning. But she's a little easier to deal with than Keziah. And my husband will just be yeah, I'll just take Zipporah with me. Can you just keep Keziah? And I'm why do I got to keep Keziah? So you got to learn how to be with her too. Because she's just you got to put her in, put her in something. Because she'll just roam around, walk around, run from you, touch everything, grab everything. And I have to put her in some type of gymnastics. Because she knows how to climb out of everything. And I don't know how, I don't know why. I'm going to say this. With Zipporah, I had a mat on the floor. I would have her toys there. I would kind of block her in, and Zipporah could be there, play with her toys, take a nap, sleep, eat snacks, all of that. Little kids' paradise. I do that with Keziah. Keziah will play with toy for 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes, 2 seconds. And it will see something else. Oh, I'm going to open this door. Oh, I'm going to use this remote. Oh, I'm going to push this out of the way. Literally push it out of the way. Because she's very strong. If I haven't said it, she's very strong. Push things out of the way. Move her little body, squeeze through places. And will just move. Because she's I want to do what I want to do. So those are the differences. But I kind of knew all right, you guys are growing into your personalities. And I feel Keziah will be the one. You always have that younger sister that's more vocal than the oldest. I feel Keziah will be the one that would stand up for Zipporah a lot, because Zipporah is just the little sweetheart that she is.
Keziah sounds a lot like Tavia. A lot like Tavia. So I'm just laughing and I'm looking at him Imani's a whole mom. She's a whole mom. It's
I know.
we were adults when we met, but it just feels I've watched you grow up. And
yeah.
I'm use
but we weren't parents.
Yeah. It's a whole
We were
thing.
nowhere near parents.
Not even thinking about being parents. We were just living our best
At all.
lives, like single, just doing what we wanted to do, following our dreams. And now we're like,
Yes.
well, this is a part of our dream too. Or we go
Yes.
right it into the dream. I love it. It's so
Yes.
adorable. Listening to you talk about your kids, it's amazing. And I know you're a great mom. Like, just you're glowing when you talk about them. That's exciting to hear. I get to see pictures on social media and I love it. I can tell that you're doing a great job. And I can tell that you have a lot of love for your family and your family has a lot of love for you. And tell hubby I said hey, because I haven't seen him
I will, yes.
since 2017 either. But, well, thank you for sharing your personal parenting journey. I really appreciate it. It's exciting to see. But we are going to move on to tea time. Tea time. If I had music, my sister did this. Brum, 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 brum. So that's our tea time introduction. Tea time is a game of rapid fire. Imani will have 3 minutes to answer as many random questions as she can in just 3 minutes. She has no idea what these questions are, none whatsoever, but she's going to find out today. After our timer goes off, then we will get to know a little bit more about Imani. So, Imani Man, you ready,
Yes.
girl?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right, listeners, are y'all ready? Yeah. Here we go. First question. Name one book, podcast, or resource that has changed your perspective.
A book that changed my perspective. For a podcast. I don't know why I'm just thinking this. Abioyo.
Okay.
I'm thinking Abioyo. I read it to the kids not too long ago, and it's awesome. Abioyo, back from Reading Rainbow, read it to the kids. It's a great book. It's a great read. Has a song in it.
Yes.
Abioyo.
If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be?
Singing.
Yes. And I hear you all the time throwing your soprano voice in there. What pet peeve will you never get over?
Chewing loud.
Yes. What is your guilty pleasure?
Pepperoni pizza.
That's probably what's your comfort food? Those were back to back.
Oh, comfort food. It is half baked ice cream. The Ben and Jerry's half baked ice cream.
What's the worst piece of advice you ever received?
Worst piece of advice is listen to everybody about parenting. Listen to like your elders about parenting. Like they can give you the advice, but like it's up to you to take it. Because you're the one who's raising the child, not them. You are.
Different world, baby. What is the last TV show or movie you binge watched?
I haven't really. The last movie that I saw was called Cordially Invited on Amazon Prime. It's pretty funny.
Okay, have to check it out. If you could give your younger self advice, what would it be?
Do everything. Don't be afraid. Just do it.
What's the most ridiculous fear you've ever had?
Probably the fear of needles.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person all day.
What's your hidden talent?
My hidden talent is that I can improv.
And you do it darn good.
Thank you.
That's the time, folks. Thank you for playing tea time, tea time, tea time. Yes, I do my own effects. I appreciate it. Well, Money, I've already thanked you over and over and over again, and I'm not going to stop thanking you. I appreciate you being on Nailed It Motherhood Podcast. Whenever I saw, I don't know if it was a post that I put out or if I had reached, I don't remember how we connected, but when you said I want to be on the show, I was like, Money, we can finally talk. It's been such a long time. And I know I'm in Pittsburgh now, but when I come to Philly, we have to make it work somehow where we can get everybody
Yes.
together. That would be awesome. But thank you for sharing your story. I think your perspective is important because it shows that prayer is needed even before those babies arrive. Like,
yes,
I mean, who knows what could have happened if you didn't stop everything you were doing, bring your family, which PS, shout out to your husband for stepping up and being the man of the house and saying, this is what we're going to do. Like, we're going to go
yes,
and we're going to go to the house of the Lord and we're going to pray about this and we're going to do everything. That's a leader and a good leader.
yes.
But yeah, we don't know what could have happened, but thank God we didn't have to find out, right?
Right.
And the way you talk about your babies, like, I don't know what you would have done if you had to figure out another direction after that. So thank God that, everything worked out. And thank you for sharing. I know that's sometimes a hard conversation to talk about, especially when you're the one who came out on the right side of that experience. There are other people that have not had good experiences, but we hope that they can use that journey even as a lesson and even a story to tell other people that might be going through that you can still stand up even after that. But thank you again. I'm so excited that we reconnected because we got to talk about some of those good old memories that we made with Will Death Do It Part. And I don't even know if that murder mystery had a title, but that one. Just watching you grow and watching you become a mom and a great mom at that, and even a businesswoman. So thank you. And at this time, I want to give you an opportunity to share any words of wisdom or any advice that you have for other parents, especially parents who are in the same range as you. Like, we're moms with young kids, pandemic babies, and life is just different. What would you like to share to our listeners?
Words of wisdom. Just take it one day at a time. Like, it's okay. It's all right if you don't get it right all the time. It's okay if you're not on schedule. Just take it one day at a time. Make sure you're healthy because you can't take care of your kids if you're not healthy. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Also ask for help. And ultimately, like I said, you can take advice from people, the older generation, family members. It's up to you to take that advice, but ultimately you are raising your children. No one else is raising your children. You took that on, that responsibility. So just be mindful of who you listen to. And pray every day. Because God got you. He got those kids.
A wise woman once said.
And he got me because this mama is nailing it.
Yes. Go ahead and nail it then. This mama is nailing it. Well, mama, how can people connect to you? And can you tell us what's next on the agenda?
How people can connect to me is Instagram, at Imani Trillionaire, or on my Facebook, Imani McFarland. What's next for me is I'm looking to find a job in childcare since my oldest is in school and I cannot entertain my youngest anymore. Like, she needs to be around friends. And I'm also looking back into acting because it's something that's a part of me, something where I can let off steam and just be myself. And also working out. I've been working out all week, losing a couple pounds. I'm about to be 35 this year, so I'm trying to be 35. That's what I'm doing.
Yes, 35.
That's what's up for me.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, get back onto the working game. You don't have to be your child's bestie. Find her some friends.
Yes.
If you like this episode and you want to hear more personal parenting journeys, then subscribe to my social media, Nailed It Motherhood Podcast, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And please don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast platform. We also have a website, naileditmotherhood.com, for your one-stop shop about our podcast. And hopefully on that website will come a Nailed It online store coming soon. Keep an eye out and we will let you know when we have merch. Trust and believe. Don't forget, you can be a guest on the podcast by completing a guest application. The link is in the bio. We welcome your questions, comments, and your ideas, and we certainly hope to keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep on doing what it is you do. Smooches.
You're listening to Nailed It Motherhood Podcast.